For our leadership tip today, we're going to be talking a little bit about change and our relationship with change. One of the things that happens as we're heading into the year every year, and leaders, I'm sure you're experiencing with this in the body of your organizations, change is going to occur. You're going to do something new. It is your intention to do something new. And because we are an organization really is a collection of people in relationships, we all have relationships with how we do things. And when change occurs, we take people out of alignment. And when they're out of alignment, they don't feel good. They don't feel quite right. An exercise you might try, and I'll give you one just for men, but men or women, you can try this. When we put our pants on or we put on some slacks, generally we'll put one leg in first, and we'll do that every time because subconsciously that's what we do. I want you to flip that. Start with the other leg and notice the difference on how you feel. It's a change and it's a slight adjustment, and you will notice that when you do that. Now, it's not a big deal to try, but I will encourage you to try that. But when change occurs, a couple of things. The very first thing that when change happens is it creates friction. And when friction is happening, it means that there's alignment, an alignment challenge. And it means that things are rubbing out of alignment. And when it rubs out of alignment, right, your team is not comfortable. And that out of alignment moment gives you the opportunity as a leader to bring things back into alignment, which means you've got to communicate, be transparent, develop the for the sake of what. Why are we doing this is important. Simon Sinek refers to the why, but the what is equally important. What are we doing, and what does it matter, and what matters to that individual? And so I'm using my notes this morning as I'm thinking about this. When you're out of alignment, what happens is value is diminished inside of the body of your organization. Notes are from a conversation I had with a CEO this morning and founder of a company and his chief operating officer. When you're out of that alignment, value diminishes, right? Because people now are less productive. They're focused on other things. They're focused on worry. They're focused on other kinds of activities. And when that alignment occurs and value begins to increase, value has to be on two dimensions, two domains. One domain is value to the individual. And I encourage you to think of value to the individual first, and then value to the organization. If you put value to the organization first and not the individual first, you will find that the individual will remain out of alignment, and chances are they'll ultimately leave the company, leave your company, and go find something else to do. It creates turnover. So when that happens, you will find that your company then begins to move forward at a greater velocity, right? There's an equation that I talk about, being a math fan, that a company will only move forward at the velocity at which its people are willing to accept change. I'll say that again. A company will only move forward at the velocity at which its people are willing to accept change. So let's go down the list. I've got it right here. The relationships, change, friction, alignment, value to self, value to the organization, velocity. Use that as you're thinking through change inside of the body of your organization, and particularly for 2026. Allow that to help you make your plans. Allow that to help you think of where you're going. For those of you that have not met me, I'm Donald White. I am the empowerment guy. And if you have any challenges with any of the things that we've talked about, or if you need to seek clarity in any way on what it means and how you may do it, reach out. We'll have a conversation. It's a no obligation conversation. I'm happy to offer you some insights. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Go try some change.